Hello and welcome to ASEAN in Focus. I'm Maricar Velasco delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region. On today's headlines. Malacanang on Monday said it will review the Commission on Audit's report questioning the selection of the contractor for the multi-billion peso new Centennial water source Kaliwa Dam project. Some 3,500 Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh have been cleared to return home to Myanmar beginning this week, a top official said Monday, nearly 2 years after a military crackdown sparked their exodus. The rescreening of the movie Guerrero's sequel was a certified box office hit in Bulacan last weekend. Malacanang on Monday said it will review the Commission on Audit's report questioning the selection of the contractor for the requirements during the opening of bids. On the other hand, another contractor, Power Construction Corp of China Limited, had a financial bid that was surprisingly higher by 6.91% than the approved budget for the contract. In December 2018, the bid was finally awarded to China Energy Engineering Corp or CEEC Limited. However, the COA questioned why the CEEC had started its preliminary project activities. Asked if the palace was open to suspending the contract, Panelo said he would have left it to the President Rodrigo and environs. The multi-billion water project was first approved by the National Economic and Development Authority on May 29, 2014 and on June's indigenous peoples. Malacanang assured on Monday that Filipino workers went to China to work and not spy on the Chinese government. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo made this remark after Chinese ambassador to the Philippines, Zhao Jinhua, said Filipino workers in China could be accused of spying in the same way Chinese Philippine offshore gaming operators, workers near Philippine military bases, are also accused of espionage. Earlier, two cabinet members, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana and Socioeconomic Planning Secretary Ernesto Perña, have also found Zhao's statement baseless. Lorenzana described the idea of Filipino workers in China as spies was preposterous, noting that only Chinese companies are mandated by their government to assist in intelligence collection.
And Secretary Perña, when they said that the OFW went to China for the purpose of work. Moreover, there is no place where they converge to work.
Panelo said the intention to spy on China does not apply to Filipino workers because there are no Filipino POGO workers near Chinese military camps.
Unlike yung concern ni Secretary Lorenzana, isang lugar lang at malapit sa kampo. So it does not apply.
Panelo said Duterte is not concerned about the presence of Chinese POGO workers near Philippine military camps because we have our own intelligence gathering capabilities.
He's not worried because we have the intelligence capability of knowing what they are doing.
Panelo said foreigners working in the Philippines need not be near the military camps to get intelligence because they can spy on the government if they want. Meanwhile, Panelo hit back at Senator Panfilo Lacson anew for describing him as China's spokesperson for relaying Zhao's statement in response to a reporter's question.
It is the duty of the office of the presidential spokesperson to share any information relative to any concern affecting the Filipinos abroad or here. Trabaho natin yun, kailangan malaman nila.
President Rodrigo Duterte is not worried about the presence of Philippine offshore gaming operators or POGOs near military camps, Malacanang said on Monday. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana earlier backed the proposal to place the Chinese pogos in a hub away from military camps and other vital installations to allay fears of espionage.
What the
Eh,
president is saying.
alam, sabi ni Presidente, kung nandito sila sa Pilipinas, alam din natin kung paano malaman kung anong ginagawa nila.
Okay.
Dahil kumpleto na rin tayo sa intelligence gathering.
Panelo noted that Duterte believes Chinese workers could still spy on the military even if they were placed away from their bases.
Is
Kaya
that
sabi ni Presidente, you don't even have to be near. Kasi nga, even if you're 1,000 miles away, pwede tayong espayan nila. High-tech na sila. Di ba? Marami silang satellite. Alam nila kung paano.
Panelo, however, said whether the Chinese pogos are far from military bases or not, it will be the security officials and the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation to decide. He said National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon Jr. believes that knowing where the Chinese pogos are is better to be able to keep watch over them. Panelo said since they are operating legally, the government continues to allow their operations. Meanwhile, he stressed the importance of pogos as a legitimate revenue-making project. At least 13 Chinese tourists were killed and dozens injured when their bus skidded off the road and plunged 30 meters into a ravine in Laos, a police officer said Tuesday. The bus was carrying more than 40 Chinese nationals heading towards the tourist town of Luang Prabang when the accident occurred late on Monday. He added that 31 people were receiving medical treatment. Chinese state media showed photos of rescuers wading through ankle-deep flood waters. Traffic accidents in Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Myanmar are common, with safety regulations often flouted and law enforcement low. The monsoon season from June to October also drenches rural roads with heavy rains, creating slippery conditions. Tourism to communist-run Laos has grown in recent years, and visitors from China increased by 13% in the first half of 2019 compared to the year before, according to the state-backed Vientiane Times.
Health is our most important asset.
Welcome back. Some 3,500 Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh have been cleared to return home to Myanmar beginning this week, a top official said Monday, nearly 2 years after a military crackdown sparked their exodus. Some 740,000 Rohingya fled to Bangladesh in August 2017 from a military offensive in Myanmar, joining 200,000 already there, but virtually none have volunteered to return despite the country's signing a repatriation deal. Bangladesh Refugee Commissioner Mohammed Abdul Kalam, however, said he was optimistic about a new repatriation process scheduled to start on Thursday. A previous attempt in November 2018 to return 2,260 Rohingya failed after they refused to leave the camp without guarantees for their safety. Everything is ready. The land transit point has been prepared, according to Kalam, as he told reporters after a meeting with Myanmar's officials in Cox's Bazar, southeast Bangladesh, where the refugees live in vast camps. He adds nobody will be forced to return unless they volunteer. Bangladesh and Myanmar officials plan to repatriate 300 Rohingya each day, with some 3,500 refugees cleared to make the journey home. The new push follows a visit last month to the camps by high-ranking officials from Myanmar, led by Permanent Foreign Secretary Mien Thu. Sunday will mark the second anniversary of the crackdown that sparked the mass exodus to the Bangladesh camps. Kalam said Myanmar and United Nations officials were meeting with selected refugees on Tuesday to encourage them to return to Rakhine State. The Rohingya, who are mostly Muslim, are not recognized as an official minority by the Myanmar government, which considers them Bengali interlopers, despite many families having lived in Rakhine for generations. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index recovered while the peso improved against the U.S. dollar on Monday as investors were partly appeased by global growth and trade concerns. Regina Capital Managing Director Louise Linlingan attributed the local stock's performance on the first day of the week to expectations for more stimulus from central banks in major economies to address the impact of global trade and growth concerns. Stocks rallied as a rebound in bond yields eased fears of a recession that sent stocks tumbling earlier in the week, according to him. Citing news report, Linlingan said American support for free trade is on the rise and backing for U.S. President Donald Trump is on the decline. The main stocks index finished the day up at 7,938.35 points, 1.83% or 142.37 points higher. All shares rose 1.18% or 56.07 points to 4,797.21 points. Mining and oil posted the highest increase among the sectors after it rose 2.72%. It was followed by financials 2.50%, industrial 2.30%, holding firms 1.49%, services 1.33%, and property 0.72%. Volume reached 1.02 billion shares, amounting to 7 billion pesos. Gainers led losers at 113 to 72, while 62 shares were unchanged. Relatively, the peso finished the week's first trading at 52.31 against the dollar after closing at 52.44 at the end of last week. It opened the day at 52.35 from 52.55 in the previous session, trading between 52.4 and 52.27 and resulting in an average of 52.308. Volume reached 1.07 billion US dollars, less than the 1.4 billion US dollars in the previous session. The currency pair is seen to trade between 52.20 and 52.40 Tuesday. The Bureau of Plant Industry granted 2,294 permits to 208 private entities that sought to import 2.041 million metric tons of milled rice since March, based on the latest data from the agency. Figures from the BPI, an attached agency of the Department of Agriculture, indicated that cooperatives, traders, and institutions applied for sanitary and phytosanitary import clearances from March 5 to July 30. In July alone, the BPI issued 776 SPIES IC for the purchase of 562,332.8 MT of rice from Myanmar, Spain, Thailand, and Vietnam. A total of 173 eligible importers used 1,041 SPIES ICS and brought in 930,031.888 MT of rice as of end of July. The imports were sourced from Italy, Myanmar, Pakistan, Spain, Thailand, and Vietnam. The BPI was mandated to facilitate private sector importation by issuing SPIES ICS once Republic Act 11203, which eased the restrictions on imports, took effect on March 5. Under the new trade regime, private entities must only secure an SPIES IC from the BPI prior to importing rice. This is because RA 11203, or the Rice Trade Liberalization Law, removed the power of the National Food Authority to regulate the local rice market and issue import license. The BPI is mandated to act on every application to secure an import permit within 7 days. Failure to do so would mean automatic approval of the application. The entry of cheaper imports was tagged as the single biggest reason behind the plunge in domestic palay prices. Planters have already lost some 40 billion pesos as traders slashed their quotations for local palay, according to the Federation of Free Farmers. The USDA also said purchasers of imported rice rose after the government removed the quantitative restriction on rice with the implementation of RA 11203.
Net25 is now available on OSN, the largest entertainment network in the Middle East and North Africa.
Hello po sa inyong lahat diyan. Ako po si Leo Obligar at araw-araw tayong magkakasama sa Piskante ng Bayan.
Watch your favorite Net25 shows on OSN Channel 725, same day as the Philippines. Net25 shows live and on demand, anytime, anywhere, on any mobile device on OSN Play.
Dito po sa Net25, OSN, siguradong at home ka dito.
Landmarks, Linggo, alas 6 hanggang alas 7 ng gabi.
Welcome back. The re-screening of the movie Guerrero's sequel was a certified box office hit in Bulacan last weekend. More details from MJ Racadio, EBC correspondent.
I'm Jericati here reporting over here at SM Baliwag Cinema. There's a re-screening of the internationally acclaimed film Guerrero.
A certified box office hit for moviegoers in Bulacan as they flock to SM Baliwag for the re-screening of Guerrero, written and directed by internationally acclaimed director Carlo Ortega Cuevas. Last weekend, August 17 till the 18, 2019, the audience were quite diverse from all walks of life. The program was hosted by Rapido.
Maraming salamat po una sa ating tagapamahalang pangkalahatan na binigyan po kami ng ganitong pagkakataon na yung mga kapatid po sa distrito po ng Bulacan ay mapanood ang isa po sa palabas ng EBC Film na talagang inabangan po ng aming distrito dahil sa ito po ay nabalitaan na po nila na napanood sa ibang distrito ay talagang napakaganda.
week. That's why a lot of people came here. It's like a box office, sold out. And they're requesting for 1 day more.
Masasabi natin dahil sa ang mga kapatid ay talagang overwhelmed sila sa napanood nila, kaya yung mga kapatid isinir nila ito sa mga kapwa nila mga kapatid at mga dinudoktrinahan sapagkat kapupulutan nila ng mga Christian values, mga pananampalataya, tamang pag-uugali, pagsusunuran ng magulang sa anak sa magulang.
Guerrero cast members were present, including Joycel Cabanlong, Julio Sabinorio, Genesis Gomez, and award-winning director Carlo Cuevas.
This is a rescreening for the first time here at SM Baliwag, a box office hit. What can you say about it?
Thank you so much po to the District of Bulacan and to all the brethren and the people here in SM City Baliwag. We're so happy. We didn't expect this po because Guerrero is 2 years ago. Then it's still like this. The people's reaction about the film is so overwhelming po.
I interviewed you a little while ago at Eagle News Live about what's your reaction about the best foreign feature film won at Los Angeles Independent Film Festival Awards.
Ayun, I still remember during the time na nag-shooting kami ng Guerrero 1. Sa shooting, doon na kami nakafocus sa every scene. Wala kaming iniisip na any awards. Hindi namin iniisip kung magiging successful ba to, paano ba mangyayari. Basta ang ginawa lang namin, puro devotional prayer din. Ayun, after nung mga screening, nagkaroon ng mga awards, sobrang bait ng Diyos. Hindi namin ina-expect yon. Then, kagaya nga, nagkaroon tayo ng awards sa Los Angeles. Then, na-mention nga.
Mga kapatid, kung nabitin po kayo dito sa Guerrero 1, at dahil mahal po namin kayo, dahil mahal kayo ng mga mahala, mayroon pong part 2 ang Guerrero. Ito po ang Guerrero.
Truly, indeed, a box office hit of Guerrero. And so, watch out for Guerrero 2 Tuloy ang Laban. Only here at SM Baliwag. This is MJ Ricardio. I am 1 with 25.
And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Maricar Velasco and I am 1 with 25.